hasn't gotten round to yet. Well, maybe he'll feel a little empathy. Play this on his FM show. Better late than never. Here's my thanks to whoever plays my song on the radio. Better late than never. Here's my thanks to whoever plays my song on the radio.
Good day, planet Earth. Michael Litton, the last DJ, host of Ride the Vibe, broadcasting from the beautiful living room-like studios here in Roswell, Georgia. The consummate host, Wahid Gomes, proprietor of the studio, running the sound for us. And it wouldn't be a Ride the Vibe Facebook Live without Otis Tillman running the video. So can't thank those fellas enough, particularly given the inclement weather we've just had, which has caused us a little bit of delay. It just absolutely poured for the last hour. I mean, I'm talking buckets coming down. So thank you all for tuning in and staying with us. I'm just so wickedly stoked to have Kaz Hawkins, the James Etta Hawkins, a.k.a. Etta James, Miss Peaches of Belfast, Northern Ireland. Kaz, welcome to Ride the Vibe.
Hey, bonjour, or bonsoir, as we say here at this time of night.
Yeah, so you've recently located to France.
Yes, I have, and loving it.
Yeah, we were just talking in the run-up about your transition to veganism and how great.
Not veganism, no, just vegetarian.
Vegetarian, okay. Yeah, the
It's
last DJ
different.
gets confused on all those differences. But I can, because I can say what I want to say and play what I want to play. So, Kaz, and it's it's 1 o'clock, so God bless you, your time zone. So appreciate it. But your fans who are legion, who are now sleeping, but when they wake up, the way we roll the show is I like to do what I call a old-fashioned music listening party. Harkening back to my days in college in Boulder, University of Colorado, when we would actually play albums, and we'd listen to the albums, because we weren't going to hop up and down and do singles and this and that, and we'd open them up, and we'd love the double albums because of course we could clean out all the seeds and stems from the dirt weed we were getting out of Mexico. But then you had the liner notes. You could actually see some content about the music, and everybody had different tastes, and so we were getting exposed to all sorts of different things. So the way we roll Ride the Vibe is we're going to play 6 of your songs, not in their entirety, because we want to tease the audience up to go out and buy that music, because you make what, 0.003 cents on every live stream. So we're going to play the music, and in this case, because you were so gracious, we're going to play videos, which is kind of cool for us. And all 6 of the songs will be in a video format, which is awesome. And then we're going to talk about the music. And we'd like to encourage listeners to sit back in the comfort of an environment of their choosing, and then get a beverage of their choice. And we're blessed on Ride the Vibe to have a really cool sponsor, DrinkMate, or one of our sponsors, DrinkMate, and they've just provided this product called InstaFizz to me. And what you do is you just turn this little thing like this, and I don't know whether you can hear that, but it's fizzing the water I've got in this container with a little CO2 cartridge. So now I've got myself, shake it up a little bit, I've got myself a sparkled beverage in my own personal container, and I'm going to have to, Kaz, I got to pour it into this very fancy cup that my dear sister Susan provided. So hope you're enjoying the ride on Ride the Vibe. So Kaz, enough about all that stuff. Tell me the musical and spiritual connection to Etta James.
Well, I think, I know that she's been my muse for many years, and at times, the more that I learned about her life and her troubles, I felt more and more connected to her. Yeah. And I was singing songs like At Last and I Just Want to Make Love to You for over 20 years on the cover sing. but I'd never really paid tribute properly to her. And I don't even like that word tribute, because it's been so commercialized with tribute shows. So what I wanted to do was to honor her life and her contribution to the music industry, and make sure that the next generation doesn't forget, because it even surprises me now how many young kids don't know who Etta James is. And so if I do my little part in saying a thank you to her for being there as my muse for when I was in trouble, I turned to her music, and she was funny. So, you know, if I needed a good giggle, here, even now I watch YouTube videos of her up on stage and she's like, you know, giving it. Or if I need to cry, you know, I'll listen to those old, you know, Tell Mama days, the At Last, and just, she just blows my mind. And there's not one song that is my favorite, apart from the very first song that I heard her sing when I was 12 years of age, and I was auditioning for a UK talent TV show.
Yeah.
Before there was X Factor or anything like that.
Right.
And it was called Opportunity Knocks.
Yeah.
And I was singing Doris Day, Once I Had a Secret Love.
Wow.
And I was in this ugly teal ball gown. And I looked so innocent, but so wrong. And the musical director said to my grandmother, who kidnapped me out of school, to take me for this audition, because nobody was giving me support for my talent. And my granny was a wonderful singer, but mostly church. And the musical director said to her, you need to let her hear Etta James. So my granny had searched for a tape. We're showing our age now.
Yeah.
And on the tape, I heard the first thing that played was St. Louis Blues, which of course is W.C. Handy song.
Handy's, classic.
But it still to this day blows my mind, and we covered it on the new album.
Yeah.
This song was written 1914-15. So, you know, you're talking over 100 years later, and we're still but without Etta, I probably would never have fell upon the blues. And the blues has given me my name and has given me my profile. And as much as I'm not a full blues player or a blues singer, I'm a singer-songwriter first and foremost. But if I hadn't have heard Etta and her perception, her contribution to the blues side of her music, then I don't know where I would have been.
Kaz, you're amazing, and you know I'm just gonna leave now, because you've teed up the show brilliantly. You teed up the song, and we're gonna talk about your work as a DJ.
All right, brilliant.
So it shouldn't surprise the audience that Kaz did that so masterfully to tee up the first song we're gonna play, St. Louis Blues. And just talking, it's interesting. I had a conversation with young lady from Charter, because I had issues with my service, and I always ask them where they're from, and she said, "Oh, I'm from St. Louis," and I said, "Oh, well, do you know Chuck Berry?" Deer in headlights. And it just pains me, like I pick up with you, that we've completely lost any appreciation for the history, and so it's so marvelous what you've done with Memory Of. And so y'all go out and buy that CD. Don't download the music, because she's only going to make like less than 1 cent, because that rip-off CEO from Spotify is raking in billions, paying the musicians nothing. So go out and buy it. But as Kaz did brilliantly, we're going to tee up St. Louis Blues. Well, Kaz has already teed it up. I'm being redundant. Otis, if we could, let's hear a little St. Louis Blues.
To see
Eric Sturman's, and I probably butchered his name, I apologize, Eric, of Roots Time B, says on Memories of, Kaz's latest album, my words, Kaz Hawkins pushes all her infectious energy, emotions, and great class into the songs of the legend Etta James. She also takes you with her band in her own way back in time of the immortal days of Stax and Motown. Wow. And I couldn't agree more. Brilliant music.
Thank you. Well, not my music, but we have to give credit to the songwriters, the original, guys who wrote these songs. And it's just, as a singer, I'm a singer first and foremost too, and I can only interpret it my way. But also, with my producer Wayne Proctor, who's also my drummer, we were very, very aware that we couldn't just do another cover.
Right.
We had to be had to be as authentic as we could. And I know it's a cliche, but Wayne done an awful lot of legwork in going back to the original recordings and make sure that he stayed true to that ethos of back in that day when it just let the music do the talking.
I love it. Well, you put your own stamp on it, your own fingerprint, and did it brilliantly. And it's just an outstanding album, CD, whatever we're calling them nowadays, stream. I'm not sure. So we touched on it, and I'd like to, because I think it's fascinating. So you host a show, Kaz Hawkins Got the Blues, on BBC Ulster. Talk a little bit about that and how that came about and what the show's about and where people can find it, et cetera, and when they can find it, all that good stuff.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm from Northern Ireland, and I left Northern Ireland about nearly 2 years ago now. But I have a massive following back there, and what happened was I had been, obviously as an artist, we'd been into the BBC and recorded sessions, and I just got invited one day by my producer Ralph McLean, he's an award-winning producer and DJ there at the BBC, and he said to me, Kaz, how do you fancy putting on a blues show? Would you be up for it if I pitch it? And I went, why not? I've never presented a radio show in my life.
Yeah.
But hell, if I stand for anything, it's about pull your big girl panties up and just try it.
Yeah, I love that.
and we're now on series 6 is out at the minute. I can't do it all the time because obviously if I'm touring or recording. Yeah. So the BBC very kindly let me go freelance, and it's it's not a full-time presenter job, because then I wouldn't be able to commit to shows. But I'm very grateful that they give me a platform to celebrate the blues, and I'm a fan of old risque blues and the original blues. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with modern blues. We all have our input. Yeah. But my heart lies in that old original honky-tonk barroom kind of blues, and a lot of risque stuff. So obviously the BBC won't let me play a lot of the stuff that I like. Yeah. But they give me a free rein on choosing the music. And this last series that is out at the moment, every Sunday at 4 p.m. UK time. Yeah. So I don't know what it would be on your side, but it's an hour-long show that it just takes people through my journey with blues, and I tell stories about going to Memphis. We done a Memphis special last week, and it was about me returning to Memphis, and the W.C. Handy statue was gone because they're building, and I was standing in Beale Street going, what is going on? They can't take away the godfather of blues. Yeah. So the show is a fun look at the blues, and also celebrating the great albums that came out of Stax.
Yeah, unbelievable, right?
Records. And
so do you get to play? You can pick like a DJ back in the day. Other than you can't play the risque ones. No. Although you have a risque picture behind you, Kaz. I just want to call that out.
about it. It's a naked lady sitting on the toilet having a smoke.
And listen to the blues, Rusquet blues, no doubt.
Exactly. I just love anything that's just free and just do what you want.
Well, one of my favorites, classic blues by Willie Dixon.
Well, he's my favorite songwriter.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and this song is well, I'm the last DJ, so I can say what I want.
Yeah.
And I play what I want, so I can have some favorites, and this one's one of my favorites, and your rendition is just outstanding. So Otis, if we could tee it up, and before we tee it up, I want to give a shout out to one of your UK mates, Troy Redfern, who we had on the show. Troy's up late listening, so there's a fan out there. Thank you, Troy, for listening in. and I'd love to hear a little spoonful if we could, Otis.
Well, now it could be a spoonful of diamonds. It could be a spoonful of gold. But just a little spoon of your precious love is gonna satisfy my soul. When I die for your spoonful, yeah, they cry for your spoonful. Those women lie for your spoonful. How those women sigh for your spoonful. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. That spoon, that spoon, that spoonful. Well, now it could be a spoonful of coffee, or it could be a spoonful of tea. Not a knife, not a fork, but a spoon, baby. It's good enough for me. Women lie for your spoonful. How those women sigh for your spoonful. You know they cry for your spoonful. How they cry for your spoonful. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. That spoon, that spoon, that spoonful. Now it could be a spoonful of diamonds, or it could be a spoonful of gold. But just a little spoon of your precious love is gonna satisfy my soul. Or it could be a spoonful of coffee, could be a spoonful of tea. But just a little spoon of your precious love is good enough for me. Women die for your spoonful. Yeah, they're gonna cry for your spoonful. How they fight for your spoonful. Those women gonna fight for your spoonful. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. That spoon, that spoonful.
Ashwin Smith, and I'm probably butchered her name too. Sorry, Ashwin. The Digital Blues France UK said, Kaz takes 10 songs you know so well and sprinkles her own magic on them. A collection charged with energy, emotion, and class.
Well, Ashwin is a guy.
Oh, God. Oh, see, I'm really screwing up. But I am the last DJ, y'all. And I'm only drinking sparkled water.
Yes, Ashwin is a guy and was one of the first DJs to pick me up, along with Dave Raven. Rest his soul, he lost his fight to cancer, who the album is dedicated to.
Yeah.
In his memory.
I really am going to leave, Kaz. I'm going to just let you do that. Because that's on my list to talk about.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. Mi casa, su casa. My show, your show. It's perfect. Yeah, talk a little bit about that, about the dedication to Dave and
Well, Aishwin and Dave ended up kind of like my blues fathers, if that sounds right.
yeah,
I would not have had the career that I have without their help
yeah,
and their support. And what happened was, in Northern Ireland, it's a very strange situation in Northern Ireland, because I have dual nationality. So I have two passports. I have an Irish passport and a UK passport. So I represent the UK from Northern Ireland, but I'm also Irish.
yeah.
So it's a very, very strange situation. But because I'm from Northern Ireland, I get to represent the UK Blues Federation when 2016, I think it was. But Aishwin and Dave had supported my career for a few years before, and we all became good friends. And I kind of looked to them as my blues peers, because without their advice and their support, as a Northern Irish woman coming onto the UK blues scene, they were the first to reach out a hand and welcome me, and it was just wonderful. But sadly, Dave lost his life to cancer, and I still get very emotional about it, because I miss him very, very much.
Yeah.
And he used to send me these emails, these audio recordings of telling me, to keep going and not listen to the haters, and and don't listen to anybody, that we love you and we're with you.
Yeah.
And at your most critical moment, when you think nobody likes you, those supportive messages mean a lot. And
just like a bolus of
yeah.
Well, you've got on the bios. He described himself on his website, I guess: sometime DJ, filmmaker, boat safety examiner, and gadget freak with a weakness for good food and wine. And then I don't know whether this was attributed to him or it's someone else. Self-knowledge is the beginning of all wisdom.
Yes.
I love it.
And that's exactly. And he was the most funniest man. The most unsuspecting man, and just a great lover of music and people.
Yeah.
And because the memories are, the album is memories of, it's not just memories of Etta James, it's memories of Dave.
Yeah.
And his contribution to not just the UK blues scene, but he infected people with his charm.
Yeah.
Around the world, and if you ask most major blues artists about Raven and Blues or Dave Raven, they will know, or they've been to his houseboat and performed, and it's just a great.
I love it.
A character.
I would love to have met him, and I hope he's tuning in. Well, I think we ought to cue up "Blind Girl," another song off this brilliant album, Memories of.
Something told me it was over, baby. Yeah. When I saw you and that girl, y'all were talking. Something deep down in my soul said, cry, girl. When I saw you and that same girl
and you're walking by. And I would rather be a blind girl, baby, yeah, than to see you walk away from me, baby. Don't leave me. I can't stand to see you walk away, boy. Cause you see, I love you so much that I don't wanna watch you leave me, baby. But most of all, I just don't wanna be free, no. I know.
I hope you all are enjoying the ride. A shout out to my sister again for this beautiful, very colorful. It's one of those that keeps things cold, keeps things hot, does it all. Doesn't help the last DJ from screwing up. Susan, can you work on that for me? And a shout out to a friend from a past life, Kay Johnson, who did some brilliant work for Premature Infants, which is a sponsor and near and dear to my heart. And Kay just did brilliant stuff, advocating for those little people that have no voice. So, Kaz, you are from Belfast, Northern Ireland, the home of also Van Morrison, who is celebrating a 75th birthday coming up the end of this month. And talk about his influence on you growing up, and also the the project you're working on, the Van Morrison project, or that you worked on. I guess it's past tense now.
Well, not it hasn't been done. It's still going every night at 7 p.m. UK time on YouTube at Hot Press Magazine. Yeah, they are uploading. 75 Irish artists have been invited to perform. So you have Snow Patrol's Gary Lightbody, Luke Special, Amel DeMay, Sinead O'Connor, Damien Dempsey. So there's 75 of us. And I can't announce when my what we're doing is covering one of Van's songs as a tribute, as a birthday gift to him. Yeah. And so my band and I remotely, well, I think it would have been a concert only with COVID. So the director of Hot Press then called out to us all to get involved. So my band and I recorded a wonderful Van Morrison song.
And what song is that, Kaz? Well, I had to try. We always are looking for firsts here at Ride the Vibe. I thought maybe I could, if I set the trap up, but you're too sophisticated.
Don't forget I'm a DJ too.
So stay tuned, y'all. And again, it's Hot Press, and it's every
night.
At UK time, 7 UK time.
7 p.m., but you can watch the videos after.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, fantastic.
I think they will announce when our video goes up I think they'll announce it next week. Yeah. I think we're the last week of towards his birthday. So so that's been pretty exciting. And we got asked a questionnaire, a few questions to put with the video, and growing up in Belfast, Van, of course, as many people around the world either love him or hate him. Yeah, he's one of those artists, and I think that's testimony to his art, his genius. Yeah. Why that surprises me, the hate part. Why? I mean, hate's a strong word, of course, but why would they not like? I mean, well, not everybody likes everybody. Yeah, right. So, right. But I think, people just, it's a hard question to answer, but I think he maybe hasn't dealt with the public as given as he maybe other artists have. Yeah. And but as an artist myself, I now understand why privacy is so important,
Sure.
and your own space is important.
Yeah.
So, if I'm out for a cup of coffee with a friend, I'm not wanting to take a selfie
Yeah.
with somebody who notices me.
Right.
So, that's maybe you can look at it that way.
Sure.
But he is a wonderful master at storytelling.
Yeah.
And I said, I told Hot Press magazine when they were interviewing me, growing up in Belfast, he was everywhere. And I mean, I was very young
Yeah.
when he when them head off and you'd Gloria. I mean, I wasn't born to 1973.
You're just a young thing.
And but for we worked it out the other day, and it was 25 years I was working on the cover scene before I went into my original music.
Yeah.
And Van Morrison saved me on many occasions when I was singing at weddings, when everybody's drunk and nobody wants to dance, and they're screaming at you, play something we know.
Yeah.
And if you pulled out Brown Eyed Girl,
yeah. Everybody's going, yeah.
He saved my neck more than a few times over those 25 years.
And then you got to open for him. Talk about that in 2012, I believe. Is that?
Well, that's what really kicked everything off.
Yeah.
9 of us were picked on the lineup, along with his daughter, Shauna, on his big return to Belfast. And it was East Side Arts that put on this big, massive tent. And I lived in East Belfast, a few blocks from where Van had grown up. So I felt very honoured to be invited to be on the same stage with him. And nobody knew who I was until that concert. And my life has just been crazy ever
Changed since then. Wow.
Yeah.
What song or songs did you do?
Well, I had my blues. It was Mama Kaz Blues Band at the time.
Oh, I love that. Mama Kaz, not Mama Cass, but
No.
What was it? Obvious takeoff on Mama Kaz?
No, that's what people call me.
Ah, interesting. Yeah. But no connection to Mama Cass. Yeah.
No. They call me.
Okay, Cass Elliot for you young folks out there that would be mamas and papas.
But then it was so every year, or every time I've been invited to celebrate Van, I've always said yes, and I've done a recording for the BBC where we done some songs, and I played Sometimes We Cry, and then with my last band, Kaz Hawkins band, we got the opportunity to do his birthday after party. And we didn't know whether he was going to come, and he didn't. But what happened was the hotel that it was being held at, my band and I were loading in, and the back of the bus, I went, "Who's got the merch?" And I'm screaming at the band, because the merchandise is the most important thing.
That's where you're making money, because you're not making it with Spotify, that's for sure.
No. So I'm screaming at the band, "Where's the merchandise?" And I could be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And I could see the shadow behind me. And I just turned around and went, "I'm sorry, mate. I'm going to be 5 minutes. You can't get the help these days." And it was Van Morrison.
No way.
His limo couldn't get past my big rubbed up Jeep.
So more than one way to meet him or see him.
Oh, it was hilarious.
That's too funny. Oh my gosh.
But
I heard
it. Just kind of get a smile.
Yeah. And then did you sell some merch? Were you able to move some merch?
I don't even remember. I don't even remember. All I know is there was his fans are called Fanatics. And they're the most wonderful fans, and a lot of them have followed me from celebrating Van and trying to honor him. But it's absolutely fantastic. They're totally dedicated, and they will follow him anywhere around the world, and it's a wonderful thing to watch.
You know what's so interesting, and it ties back to your comment about David Raven and how supportive he was. And so I read a story about Van Morrison before when he was struggling, before he had made it famous, and he was in the United States, and he was really on hard times. And as I read the story, Peter Wolf, who was a DJ in Boston and became the lead singer of Jay Giles, took Van in and got him, let him stay at his house, etc., and kind of took him in, helped him stay afloat during some very hard times that he had. So it's interesting that everybody has those.
See, and this is what, there's wonderful people all over the world, and especially for artists, there's a saying that when you have talent, you can go anywhere in the world and just sing and play. Yeah. And you will be accepted, whether you make a lot of money, but you will never, you will always be able to get by with the help of fans and with the help of supportive people within the music industry. So that's a heartwarming story.
I love it. Well, and once again, channeling your brilliant DJ-ness, if that's a word, you've teed up someone we have to give a shout out to here on Ride the Vibe, because it wouldn't be a Ride the Vibe without Wahid's gracious and Otis's gracious putting the show on. So we're going to take just a short break to support DRSATL, and they're going to be right back and play 3 more songs of Kaz's from a prior album.
DRS provides professional audio mixing and mastering services. They also provide other creative services such as voiceover editing, audio restoration, and audio forensics. They have great customer service, their work is fast and efficient, and their prices are affordable. You can learn more about their creative services by visiting them on the web at DRSATL.com. Again, that's DRSATL.com, or call them at 404-590-0779. Again, that's 404-590-0779. DRS, when the right sound matters.
Wouldn't be a Ride the Vibe without DRS's hosting of the show and Otis running the video on Facebook Live. So like Dave Ravens and maybe like Peter Wolf for Van Morrison for the last DJ. I can't say enough about Wahid and Otis. They're warriors. So I want to shift gears a little bit now, and we've worked back in your discology, or we're working back in your discology. I wanted to feature the Memories Of first for obvious reasons, because we want you all to go out and buy that CD. Don't just download it on Spotify, because again, the company's paying 0.00331 cents per stream, and then that gets split between the artist, management, business managers, lawyers, etc. And that's a quote from Chet Porter in the article that was. The title of the article was REM's Mike Mills tells Spotify CEO Daniel Ilk to go, himself, over the artist needing more to release more content as a way to make money. So come on, Dave, lighten up and give them at least 0.04 cents or something. But we're gonna go back to Live at Park Avenue, and this this album or CD features Sam York, and I want to talk about your collaboration with him, because you've done a lot of work with him on different albums and different songs. But this song, Lipstick and Cocaine, has a very special significance for you, and we'll talk about that when we come back. But let's, if we could, Otis, tee up Lipstick and Cocaine off of Live at Park Avenue.
Lipstick and cocaine hurting my brain, laying in my bed, oh, feel my pain. The uniformed man at the door said, come with me, darling, it'll be okay. Gonna be okay. said, come dance with me. It'll be alright. It's gonna be alright. He said, you can do this. Just one more fight. Just one more fight. Lipstick and cocaine down the rivers of hell. Too many locked doors, no one hears you yell. A knock at the door from the doctor said, come with me, darling, I'll make you well. And he made me well.
Wow. Man, oh man, Kaz. That brings tears to my eyes and chills. Talk about that song and your collaboration with Sam.
Well, it's actually the Don't You Know album.
Oh, my bad.
The Live at Park Avenue is digital only, and it was so the Don't You Know album is studio recording.
Yeah.
And I had done the first couple of albums, and everything was a big sound, and I'd been touring and I with my old band, and I was just run out of steam, and financially I just couldn't afford to tour anymore, and my health was suffering. So I'd always wanted to do these songs, and I didn't really know what I wanted at the time, but I wanted something. I wanted space to sing and tell the story. I've always been an emotional performer, but these songs are my most precious and personal songs. So what had happened was I began looking for a pianist, and I had met Sam at a gig. I think it was a year or two before. And I just happened to email him and ask him if he was interested. So I flew him over to Northern Ireland, and I think he had just finished in touring with Tom Jones.
Oh wow!
So he's a top quality musician, and I flew him in for a week. I said, look, if it works, it works. But I just want somebody I just want to trust somebody with my thoughts and what I want to do with these songs. So with his help, we sat by the piano for a week. We drank lots of alcohol.
Always helps.
Yeah, exactly. And we set the world to rights. And we became the best of friends in that week. And on the Saturday, we booked into the studio and recorded the whole album in one afternoon. And I was crying and he was crying. And I just didn't realize my voice, what my voice did to people until I heard these recordings, because I can, or even in the studio that day when I came back, I said to my husband, I said, I get it. I now get why people react the way they do to my music. And I've got to put this album out. And it was the best thing I ever done, because it gave me 2 years with Sam to rediscover my voice and rediscover who I was as an artist. When you're in a band format, you're responsible for a lot of people, and it's a lot of pressure, and I'm not signed to any label. I'm not. Everything was financed by me, so that all runs dry. I mean, I love it. It was. I think it was a moment in time of growth for me. And when I moved out of that for 2 years, and I toured this show, which then has now become my Life and I show, and I use these songs to educate and inform people on mental health awareness, suicide awareness, domestic abuse, child abuse. And I tell my story. I used to tell it a lot more brutally. I used to think by telling people that my throat was cut by an ex-boyfriend or I was sexually abused by an uncle direct like that it would have an effect, a shock effect.
Yeah.
But I've now realized through my fans that, well, they've helped me to streamline it so that people aren't affected, because what I didn't count on was a lot of people who had issues or maybe didn't know that they had been abused or attacked, and a lot of that started to happen, and then we realized, wow, this is serious.
How cathartic you're singing and talking about it was for a lot of folks.
Yeah, but on the other hand of it, it can be quite dangerous because you could trigger someone's trauma. Yeah. So now this show is great now because we simplify it, and I just more or less say that music saved me, and these are the songs that got me through my hard times, and let the people make their decisions.
And once again, you've brilliantly channeling your DJ teed up the song I want to play next, Surviving. But I just want to clarify, because the last DJ screwed up. So that song, Lipstick and Cocaine, is off of You Don't Know. So fans can go out and go buy that CD. But then the video, it looked like it was in front of a live audience. So live at Park Avenue. Talk about...
There was a lot of different... that was actually filmed at Belfast Cathedral.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was just... there's different parts filmed.
Okay.
In the video. And that was directed by Stephen Mullen.
Got it. And this next song, Surviving, also off of Don't You Know?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. Well, if we could, Otis, let's tee that up. Surviving.
So many say keep quiet. So many think they know. So many go unnoticed. So many never grow. To wake each day with something. To wake each day with you is waking up in fear of love for all that you could do. But I'm surviving without you. I'm surviving my whole life through. Survivor of a pain, survivor of a false love, a human of a hushed up word, survivor of a wrong. Surviving isn't for you, for it's me who fights the fight. So one day I hope you'll suffer. For my breath you held so tight. I'm surviving without you.
You have said, music is the very thing that saved me. When I sing, I am in my life, so all I want to do now is sing for those still fighting.
Yeah. Well, I trained myself that stage was my cure, the singing was my cure, when when the times when I did want to die and mental health, my mental illness had overtaken me, and drugs and alcohol and prescription drugs, I always sang. So when I came out and part of my recovery, I went cold turkey on everything. And I put all my effort into singing. I started learning guitar, and I had written in my journals lots of poems, which are Lipstick and Cocaine Surviving, these songs. And that's what got me clean.
Wow. Oh my gosh, so powerful. And I got to segue slightly, so got to lighten it up a little bit. But we have a mutual friend, and it wouldn't be a Ride the Vibe without this woman. And I say, that whole 7 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon. It's really 2 or 3 degrees, I would suggest, of separation from Lucy Pillar, knowing every single musician on the planet. She's amazing. And you and Lucy are such good pals, and you spent time here in the States, and Lucy kind of helped you do a tour. Talk a little bit about that, because the time is just flying by. It's just fascinating, and we've got one more song I want to get in, but talk a little bit about your relationship with Lucy and the time you spent here in the States.
Well, Lucy, we were talking about this the other day, and I can't even remember how we actually came to know each other. Maybe she emailed me out of the blue, but it's one of those things when you meet someone, or you talk to someone, you become instantly, friends. And it was just that relationship with her, and she created this promo tour. I done 5 states, including Atlanta, and it was just amazing. It was freezing.
When did you come here? During the winter?
It was a week before Christmas.
Okay.
And it was absolutely freezing. But bless her, and we shared. We went on the road together for it was amazing. And she was my manager over there in America for a while. So I'm so grateful to her because, of course, you're right. She knows every musician.
I don't think there's anyone she doesn't know. I need to rename this show the Lucy Pillar Ride the Vibe. Well, and there's been a common theme throughout the show that I picked up, and it's a brilliant quote that I like a lot. And you talked about Etta James and how she was amused for you, the influence of Van Morrison. We've got Lucy Pillar. And so I would suggest that all that knows that all is one. All that knows that all is one. We are, in fact, all one. And as we're almost out of time here, I want to tee up. I don't want to, but I'm hoping Otis will. Channeling that all is one thing. Because You Love Me. And I probably screwed this up, too. Is that also off of Don't You Know? Or is it off of Feeling Good?
It's off Feeling Good.
Feeling Good, okay.
Right. The band version, and then it was piano version, and now I've got a new version. It's the biggest song for the fans.
Wow.
And because I wrote it for my daughter when she was, when I came out of recovery and tried to get my kids to forgive me.
Yeah.
And she was the only one that did.
Wow.
And she went off to uni, and she just felt that we'd only just got to know each other again once I got clean.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to go, and she didn't want to leave me in case I went off the rails again.
Yeah.
And I wrote this song for her because I wanted her to know that it's her time now. I had my chance. But this is your time. You gotta go and spread your wings. You gotta go and fly. And if I've taught you anything, you can do it on your own. And she went to university, and she now has a Bachelor of Science in Animal Welfare. And she's been to Africa, Ecuador, Slovakia with the wolves. She's tracked baboons in Johannesburg, and it's just amazing. So it's a tribute to her.
Yeah. And forgiveness, such a key. Well, Otis, if we could tee up Because You Love Me.
Don't wait for me. I'm not going, 'cause I can't leave. I watched for years, your strength, your pride. You held the doors as life passed you by. Life just passed you by. Now I can tell you wanna go. Don't think of me, 'cause I can't go. You gotta take the highs with the low. Don't wait for me. I'm not going, 'cause I can't leave. And don't say no, just because you love me so. Don't be frightened by the road ahead. It's okay, it's fine, just lift your head. Take it all in your stride. Remember life, it's there to teach, to learn, to grow, to find your feet.
Kaz, this hour has just flown by. We could do another hour and more. So go out, y'all, and buy Kaz's music. Kaz, where can they find it? Where should they download? Where should they get all the stuff, buy merchandise, etc.?
The only place to buy the physical copy is from me and artists like me. This is where we make the most money. So it's KazHawkins.com.
Brilliant.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And be on the lookout for Hot Press.
Hot Press Magazine on YouTube, 7 p.m. every night, which would be for you lunchtime, I think.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, or late in the it's late somehow.
Yeah,
I don't know. But they can find it anytime. And that again, Memories of, #1 on the R&B chart, #1 on the soul chart, #1 on the UK album chart, #6 on the soul R&B chart with a single spoonful off a Roots Music Report. Kaz, it's just been an honor and a blessing. You are an amazing, amazing human being. All that knows that all is one. God bless.
Yeah.
It's not too late to set the record straight. Better get her done, son, 'cause the hour is growing late. Maybe there's a DJ out there somewhere who has a few regrets and a list of things that he meant to do but hasn't gotten round to yet. Well, maybe you'll feel a little